Okay, CQB or room clearing real quick. 3 things to know, 2 things to learn, and 1 thing to do. Alright? So, 3 things to know. This method is easy to understand and accomplish, which means it's less stressful. There is no difference between one man or solo clear or team clear, which means to say it's easy to remove or add people. Alright? This method is very behavior compliant, which means there's no need for fancy movements or tactics. Okay? Now, 2 things to learn. What is an apex? An apex is a 90-degree angle or of a threshold where you use your body to pivot at this threshold. It's the 90-degree point and not the flat edge. Okay? I'll make myself clear first. Once again, it is where you will pivot yourself when you clear a room. Okay? Now, significant angle to take note of. Narrow angle. Narrow angle is a beginning of an exposure to a room. This narrow angle varies with entry size, and it can be thin or thick depending on how thick the threshold is and how big the entry size is. Okay, 45 degrees, 90 degree, 150 and 180. Now, all of these angles don't mean anything right now until we get to the demonstration later on. Okay, and the last thing to do after all of this is to practice. Make sense? Okay, let's go on to the demo. Now, I'm going to clear this room here. Okay, this door is not in play, meaning to say that this door doesn't exist right now. Okay, so as I walk up to the room, I just started my exposure to the room, which I'm now at a narrow angle. What I can do right now is to go closer, make sure my barrel doesn't stick out too much. Since you're using the apex, this is the apex of the door. This is okay. So the apex can come in many forms, alright? Doorways, hallways, whatever. But this thin 90-degree angle is your pivot point, not the flat edge. Now, this is also an apex where I'm aiming at, but I'm not using this because you will have to use, you should use the apex that is closest to you. Make sense? Alright. Now, moving on, I'm going towards the 45-degree angle, okay? 45 degree right now, I can see the other side of the room. At this point, since it's a significant angle, at this point you have already cleared a little bit of the room, just a tiny bit, don't worry about it. It's still progress nonetheless. Now, in this case, on my right side, I've cleared this tiny bit of room. As much as I can get it, there's no enemies right now. If there are enemies in this room, they will be on my left. They can't see me, I can't see them yet. Alright? But if they are there, they will be there. Alright? So, moving on, next, carry on. Now, 90 degree. At this point, you have already cleared most of the room. On your right, it's fine. You have already cleared the room. You've gathered as much information as you can. Now, on the left, if there are any enemies, they'll be there. Okay? So, as you clear the room bit by bit, you are... How should I put this? You are gathering information as you clear, meaning to say that you know this area is clear, and then the more you add the angles, the more you're confident. Alright? So let's carry on. Alright, now I'm at the 150-degree angle. At this stage, the more crucial stage, I would say, if there are any enemies right now, okay, they will be on your left. No way they will be on your right. I mean, in my case right now, there's no way that they will be on my right because I already cleared all of this and I've already gathered information that there's no enemy. If they are, they'll be on my left, the last 30 degrees. Okay. So now, what you can do at this stage is to use the Q and E key if you have to pick corners depending on which side you're at. So I'm just gonna pick this corner. There's nothing there right now. Okay. So I'm confident that I'm going to clear this. Okay, go ahead and clear this. Okay, room clear. Okay. Now, I'm going to do this whole process without talking, and you'll see how it goes. Okay. Okay, a couple of things before we move on. Now, say for example, you are slicing towards the 45-degree mark, and you feel threatened by a target inside. Alright, what you can do is just to go back to the narrow angle, and then slice towards the 45-degree angle again. Just don't... One thing to remember is that just don't panic and run in the room or do something weird, alright? Another thing is that if you're in a team scenario, say the first guy's clearing, and then you are the second or third or fifth guy, whatever, doesn't matter. As long as you're not the one clearing, let the guy do his job, give space for that guy to bail, alright? And then what you also can do is that just watch the alleyway or hallway or whatever area you're clearing. Just make sure nobody flanks your team. Okay, make sense? Let's go. Make sense? Okay. Now, one tip I want to give you is that the minute you reach a narrow angle, okay, say somewhere here, alright, do an orientation check. What I mean by that is to just simply hold left alternate and then do a free look and just look around, listen for things. What you want to look out for is that you don't want people to be flanking you. You want to make sure that the room that you're clearing is the right room, so there's no screw ups. And just listen out for things going on in the environment. If you hear, I don't know, AI wise, that you hear people talking inside, a couple of people, like say 3 people, right? Well, I don't think you want to clear this room because you cannot take it. You will not be able to cope with all the aggression coming towards you through this hallway. Okay, make sense? Now, also another tip. This is more of a quote, really. Fight with what you can see and not what can see you. Make sense? Now, all of this doesn't mean anything until you do the last thing, which is to practice. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see a more definitive edition, do let me know. I'll be happy to do it. Well, with that said, I hope you guys go ahead and practice. Hope you guys have fun. Yeah, with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, bye!